Okay, so this is an experiment that I'm running with myself to see how conversations can go when they're being recorded. And I know some amazing people, and Leela is one of them. And so I was just wondering if Leela had some time just now in the totally spontaneous act to have a conversation with me about something that's going through my mind this morning. And she said yes, and so here we are. So we're in our natural state, whatever that is, and just thought we'd give it a go. So, hi Leela.
Hi.
So you want to tell folks just a little bit about you and your website before we start? We can do it again at the end.
Sure. Here, let me just give me a second. I want to make sure that my Google is my Chrome is closed so that it doesn't start binging and booping at us.
Mine will probably bing and boop because I have not closed mine.
Okay. So my name is Leela Sinha, and I'm a lot of things. I'm an ordained Unitarian Universalist minister and a coach and an author, primarily. I wrote a book that came out this summer called You're Not Too Much, Intensive Lives in an Expansive World. And the book talks about being an intense person and how awesome it is and how to manage being an intense person in the world that we live in, because most of us live in worlds and contexts where intensity is not really valued and not really embraced. And so we can get really down on ourselves for being who we are, which prevents us from giving our gifts to the world. So the book addresses that, and in addition to the book, I've got on the website you'renottoommuch.com, I've got some videos and some written material and some audio files, some interviews I've done with podcasters, and then if you're interested in working with me, intensivescentral.com is where you'll find information about coaching and consulting and speaking and so on.
Awesome, and I'll also I'll add her links to my comments when I get this up on Facebook. That's not planning ahead. Thanks, Leela. That was so polished.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Okay.
I've done like 6 podcasts, and so I'm starting to winnow it down. I did a podcast a little bit ago. I can't remember the name of the host offhand. But she did such a brilliant, she made me just sound amazing. And I said I was going to steal it, but I haven't stolen it because it was right from her heart, and I can't reproduce that.
Well, you are totally rocking it. No, I think that's awesome. So just for full disclosure, Leela is a dear friend of mine, and also we have done some professional work together. I have, in fact, worked with her. She was my coach. And so I just wanted to put that out there. So the things that have been coming up in my mind, I have like 5 topics that are all vying for, but I want to just do one right now. I just want to start with one. Is this question of, it seems like a lot of people in my world right now are feeling really lost. And for a variety of reasons, and feeling a little powerless. And I think that's translating into feeling really lost in our own lives. You know, not just what do we do about these big global issues that feel overwhelming, but what do we do? What do we do with ourselves to get moving, to get found, to get our feet underneath us? And you have a really great perspective that a lot of people don't have through your work in intensives, because I think there are a lot of people, when they have all of that drive, all of that energy, to not know what to do with it, it could be like an implosion. So I was wondering, do you have any, I don't know, off the top of your head, this is really unscripted for real, like what are you thinking in terms of how this issue of feeling lost might show up for intensives, and what kinds of things you might suggest?
Well, you're right in terms of intensives often respond to dissonance or discord or unsettledness by feeling like we have more energy. Like we might get really lethargic, but it's really common for us to start to feel really edgy. And what a former lover of mine used to call rammy, like a ram. Where you're just like, and you don't really have a place to put it. You can't really put a name on it. You don't know why you're cranky at everybody, but you are. It's a little like PMS, but it's worse. And so the number one thing to know is that it's real. Like, this is something intensives have to deal with all the time. Like, don't imagine that it's not real, or that you're making it up, or that you shouldn't have it. That's how you feel, and you have to kind of let that be true. Because if you spend a bunch of energy fighting it, you are in trouble. And then it's a matter, for me anyway, it's a matter of finding the thread. Like, it doesn't even need to be the beginning of the ball of yarn. It just needs to be a piece. Find some thread that I can start to pull on. Because when you're feeling lost, intensives, we're used to motion. We're used to moving forward. We're used to go. And so being able to feel, a colleague of mine in seminary, Ruth Greenwood, who's now the Reverend Ruth Greenwood, used to say, walk the path, balance comes from walking. And for people, she came to that while walking a labyrinth one day. And for people who know how to ride a bicycle, you know that if your bike is going too slowly, you tip over. And especially in times of crisis, or in times of feeling lost, or in times of sort of disarray, intensives are like that, right? We move too slowly, we tip over. And so sometimes the most stabilizing thing you can do is find a thing to do, something to focus on, some way to move forward, some way to contribute. A problem to solve is often really useful. A nice concrete problem with a concrete answer is even better.
I can see that. Are there questions that someone could ask themselves to sort of lead themselves to these, threads or questions? I mean, is there? I guess I'm asking for a cheat sheet. Is there? What's a great provocative way to help someone move forward like that?
Sometimes you can just take whatever's on top. Like, think of all of the things that are whirling around in your head. Because typically, when I feel lost, it's not there's nothing in my head.
Yeah.
It's that there's enormous amount of stuff in my head, and it's all spinning around. So sometimes the simplest thing to do is take the thing off the top. Whatever it is, no matter how small, no matter how trivial, no matter how much you think it's not going to matter. Like this morning, I woke up and I got up and I was like, okay, I managed to get out of bed. Points for me. I put on clothes. More points for me. And now what? Like, I could feel that kind of roiling. And I walked over to the sink and I thought, God, I have to do dishes. And then I thought, okay, we're taking that off the top. Does it have to do with running my business? No. Is it going to bring in money today? No. But is it going to change my environment for the better? Yes. Is it going to stop irritating me if I do it? Yes. And sometimes that's what it is, and if it's not your thing on top, maybe it's your kid's thing. Maybe your kid is cranky and wants their pink sippy cup. And your kid's been complaining about not having their sippy cup for 3 days. So find the sippy cup. Like, just put it all down and find the sippy cup. And as you start to take stuff off the top, then everything else, at least for me, everything else starts to order itself. It's like shaking a bag full of mixed size things and having the large things float to the top and the small to the bottom.
That's so awesome. I do that with potato chips. Yeah. Okay. I totally understand that metaphor, and I use it. Okay, that's awesome. That's really, really good.
So, yeah, I'm really enjoying how cozy and comfy you look in your hoodie in front of your fireplace with your wood stoves.
You are welcome here, right here.
I really need to make the time and energy to come to you.
I would scooch over and share space. Okay, what you don't know is we had 2 hours of smolder while I tried to make the fire start. So it was 2 hours of smoldering, but now we have fire. So.
Now you have fire. Sometimes that's what it takes. And we could sit facing each other and talk to each other.
I think that'd be awesome. You are welcome. We're right here. Anytime. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording. So if you just want to give your websites one more time, this is hysterical. Hang on, I need to decline this. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Steph. You're going to know it's you in a second. All right. So if you want to do your websites one more time, and then I'll stick them in the comments, and we're just going to do this in unedited. It's just going to be okay.
Yep. So my websites again are you'renottomuch.com, which is the website for the book itself. That's YOURE, you'renottomuch.com, and you'renottomuch.com/buy the book if what you've heard or what you've seen from me on Facebook is sufficient. You're always welcome to find me and follow me on Facebook. I put a lot of stuff out on Facebook on my professional page, which is Intensive Central, and on my personal feed, I have lots of professional contacts in my personal feed. My name is Leela, Leela Sinha, Sinha. And my coaching and consulting website is intensivescentral.com. So you can also find me there.
And I cannot recommend her highly enough. She is awesome. A deep thinker and an intuitive, and it's a beautiful combination. Okay, so I'm going to hit stop for now, and then you stay on. We'll talk for another second if you can. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find the... It went away. All right, just a second. Okay, Ross starts.